I hear all great initiatives coming from these cities. Udah belum? Ayo dong.
Belum live ya?
Belum live, and then we will edit the video after this. Okay? I'll be moderating the session entitled World Book Capitals. With me, I have amazing speakers from various countries. First, I have Amira bin Faris from Sharjah. She is the programs manager at House of Wisdom. Firstly, passionate about pushing Sharjah's agenda on promoting books, reading, and cross-culture dialogue. Amira is a young professional who has been working on leading projects developed by the Emirate to strengthen its cultural role and stature globally. And then next I have Deputy Mayor of Abilisi, Mr. Andrea Basilaya. Andrea Basilaya is the Deputy Mayor of Tbilisi. He supervised the Department of Culture, Education, Sport, Youth Affairs, Health, Social Services, and Economic Development, as well as over 100 municipal organizations such as libraries, museum, theaters, art schools, and youth centers. He is also part of the urban mobility reform that is ongoing on the city. Basilaya is alumnus of St. Lawrence University, USA, with a degree in economics and political science. He has 10 plus years of managerial experience in government and private organizations in Georgia and overseas. And then next I have Mr. Sheikh Faisal from Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur World Book Capital 2020 Secretariat. Sheikh Faisal Sheikh Mansour, or Sheikh, graduated with a BSc in Chemical Engineering from Washington University in St. Louis, USA. Because of his passion for the written word and content development in general, he eventually became an instructional designer for interactive courseware used in universities and schools, a textbook editor, a writer, and a self-publisher in the last 20 years. He now runs Sheikh Book Projects that offers publishing services and consultancy. Sheikh is the honorary secretary of the Malaysian Book Publishers Association, or MABOPA, and currently serves in the Kuala Lumpur World Book Capital 2020 Secretariat. And then next, I have Ms. Ninia Macharasvili, Director of the Union of Abilisi Municipality Multifunctional Libraries and Abilisi World Book Capital 2021. Ninia Macharasvili is the Director of the Union of Abilisi Municipality Multifunctional Libraries and Abilisi World Book Capital 2021. She has long experience in working with books. She was the book publisher, literary agent, and an organizer of many local and international book fairs. She is also a TV host presenting new titles. She has been working on gender equality issues in Georgia already for 7 years, and also a co-founder and national manager of the Men Care Georgia Global Program, which is implemented by UNFPA Georgia. Besides the above mentioned, Mrs. Ninia is an animal rights activist and volunteers for homeless animals in Georgia. And then lastly, I have Ms. Suharti, Deputy Governor of Jakarta. Suharti currently serves as the Deputy Governor of Jakarta Province for Population and Settlement Management and in charge as the head of Jakarta Development Collaboration Network. Previously, she worked for the Ministry of Education and Culture of the Republic of Indonesia as the head of Bureau for Planning and International Cooperation, and for the National Development Planning Agency as the Director for Population, Women Empowerment, and Child Protection, and worked for Directorate for Education. Hello everybody. I think I've mentioned everyone's names and bio. I just haven't seen you in person. How are you all?
Good, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank goodness.
Good, thank you.
Despite these strange times, I'm so glad that you all are in good health and keeping safe. So let's go into the questions about World Book Capital. I understand that, you know, Sharjah was the World Book Capital last year, and then this year was Kuala Lumpur, and then next year it's gonna be Tbilisi. How exciting. And early this year, Jakarta also has a program called Jakarta Book City by the government. So let's go through from Sharjah first, and then Kuala Lumpur, and then followed by Tbilisi, and then Jakarta, if that's okay with everyone. On my first question, what does the literary ecosystem in your city look like in the past 5 years? You know, starting from the publishing industry, bookstores, libraries, book festivals, to other literary activism. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Laura. So as you may know, Sharjah has an existing infrastructure for literature through 2 very successful book fairs, and one is going on right now, which is the Sharjah International Book Fair, as well as the Sharjah Children Reading Festival, which attracts over 2 million visitors every year. In 2017, the city has established the Sharjah Publishing City Free Zone, which is the first publishing free zone in the world, and it was designed to foster investment and growth in the publishing and printing sector within the UAE, as well as the international community as well. We've also seen over the past few years the opening of several innovative bookstores, as well as the expansion of existing ones. So we can say that books and publishing are of premier importance in Sharjah, not just for the past 5 years, but over the span of 40 years, which all stem from the vision of His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, the ruler of Sharjah.
Okay, thank you. What about Kuala Lumpur? I know I've been to Sharjah and Kuala Lumpur, and I can see with my own eyes how many, bookstores and book festivals are happening in those two, in Sharjah and KL. Sheikh, please tell me what's been happening in the last
Right.
5 years.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank Laura and the team for inviting me. And it's nice to see everyone here, especially we've met Amira, and we've been communicating with Nina for the World Book Capital program. And okay, for the Kuala Lumpur scene, of course, like Sharjah, we have book fairs. Our KL International Book Fair. Other than this year, it has been going on every year, and we have about 1 million to 2 million visitors every time within the 10-day frame. And this year we conducted the virtual version, the online version, partnering with Shopee, which is the regional marketplace platform. Now, if you look at the scene like 5 years ago, let's go back to 10 years ago, where you can see that the books published are increasing. There's an increasing number of books published by the publishers, and it's going on increasing steadily for 5 years. And then by the mid of the decade, it starts to go down. Yeah, the publishing numbers are going down from roughly about 19,000 titles per year. It went down to about 15,000. Now, for the past 2 years, it has been increasing back again, and we have seen numbers like 19, 20,000 a year. Um, we, and then we can see that there are more self-publishers now, and other small-time publishers emerging. As you can see from the book fair, you can see small publishers partnering up, getting a collective stand. So you can see how vibrant it is in the self-publishing scene. Now, as far as the bookstores, of course, due to the pandemic, we see several bookstore chains have closed down their outlets,
Yeah.
and we see that there is less shelf of books. They increase on non-book items. Hence, we have a shorter shelf time for the book. I go item by item now. As far as the libraries are concerned, at the moment they capitalize more on digital lending, ebook lending. Yeah, we have seen the increase in ebook lending during the pandemic for the city library as well as the national library, because Kuala Lumpur is the capital city, so all the action centers around the city and the surrounding areas. So we have the National Library and the KL City Library within kilometers of each other. So when you go for the National Library, you can see hundreds and thousands of book lending that they see during the pandemic. So people are reading, yeah, and it's just that we cannot do more activities physically. But we do see that in the past 5 years, we see that people are doing uh, literally, literary related activity in silo. They're doing it on their own. We have government agencies, government departments, corporate and individuals. They are doing lots of activities on their own. And for the World Book Capital, this is the time where we pull everyone together, work together so that we can have a more concerted effort, more integrated effort to actually help KL as the reading city. Now, at schools, we have lots of literary programs. We have the Nilam reading programs. Every student at school is given a booklet where they need to jot down books that they read along the year. So every kid must have this book and they have to write down. And they even have a competition, the Nilam reading competition. The the student with the most books read, and that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that's it for now.
Thank you, Sheikh. Next, we move on to Abilisi. I hope I pronounced it right. I know you had an amazing presentation at the Frankfurt Book Fair as the guest of honor. So we have the Deputy Mayor, Mr. Andrea. I know the role of government is very important to make a city book program successful. Mr. Andrea and Ms. Ninia, are you able to share about your city's book programs for the last 5 years or even more?
Hello again. Nice to meet you here online and hope to see you, not online, actually very soon. To say the truth, Georgian literature process and industry, publishing industry, last 5 years in my country was absolutely magnificent, most active, influential, and strong. As you mentioned, Georgia was a guest of honor country at the Frankfurt Book Fair 2 years ago, and because of that fact, lots of Georgian modern authors were translated into different languages, and vice versa. We have invited lots of publishers and booksellers to Tbilisi these last 5 years. Me myself was a publisher around 3 years ago, and we have a really strong plan to visit different book fairs abroad and take there the Georgian stand. And as you mentioned, Tbilisi had a very beautiful presentation at the book fair in Frankfurt. And accordingly, Tbilisi International Book Fair for 3 years already, really international, because we had the different countries here invited into those. 3 years ago, we had Norway as a guest of honor country. 2 years ago, we had Turkey. And unfortunately, according to the pandemic, in this year, we had to cancel the book fair. But hopefully, for the next year, we will manage to continue these international negotiations. And after the Frankfurt Book Fair, accordingly, we have gained the status of World Book Capital. For the next year, we have absolutely amazing plan to implement for the next year, and hope that this speed and value will continue and will be implemented thoroughly.
Okay. Mr. Andrea, would you like to add on that?
First of all, thank you for inviting me and for being interested in our program and how we're planning to be a host for this very important event for our city. As Nina mentioned, it has really coincided with a lot of reform and changes being done in the last few years. From the side of the city, I can say that for the first time in tens of years, the city has allocated budget money to renovate libraries, and we plan to renovate all city libraries. And I think that the programs that are included in the UNESCO World Book Capital will further improve the infrastructure in the city and enrich all the stakeholders, not only physical infrastructure, but also the publishers, the writers, and so we're really looking forward to hosting this event.
Okay, thank you. So next would be from Jakarta. As the Deputy Governor of the capital city of Indonesia, what is the publishing or the book scene in the city, Bu Suharti? Especially
it's
for the
growing.
last 5 years.
It's growing. The industry, not only the literacy industry, but also the level of literacy also in Jakarta. And what we do, particularly in Indonesia, not only Jakarta, since Indonesia is the country of the guest of honors of Frankfurt Book Fair in 2015, the industry grows so fast, and Laura is the person in charge in the book committee, National Book Committee. She knows well how it's grow very fast, and I know everyone's have problem with the COVID. We have to change everything, but there must be opportunities behind this the pandemic, and the numbers of publishers, numbers of writers in Jakarta also increasing quite significantly. Is also because of the programs of trainings of new writers, young writers here and there, and also supported by the central government, by the Ministry of Education and Culture. And Jakarta, with its international book fairs, that's very large international book fairs, it also helps the city in developing the industry. And we are not doing it alone, because yeah, everyone needs book, and every student also need books. So other than the can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Yes, we need to do it even better. In this events, I would like to congratulate Guadalajara for the winnings of the World Book Capitals in 2022, and we need to learn more from you and from you all here, so that we could
win later.
our programs. Improving our programs in developing the literacy industry and also book industry, and we can look for.
Okay, we cannot. You're breaking up, Buhati. You're breaking up.
Oh,
there you go.
Very sorry, it is out of town, and the signal is not good. I tried to use Wi-Fi, but it's also very bad. So I hope this my cell phone have a quite good signal. I think I give you the time to you, return the time to you, Laura. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, I lost signal again, I think. Laura, better to Laura, I cannot hear you. Very sorry for these problems. Mbak Laura saja nih suara signal saya jelek banget ini.
Early this year. So I would like to ask these three cities, what do you think the key factor of getting the title UNESCO World Book Capital, according to you as the bidder, I guess? Please, maybe from Sarja, and then KL, and then Abilisi.
I'm sorry, Laura, but do you mind repeating the question? It was cutting, so I couldn't hear the first part of the question.
Oh, sorry. I was asking about, according to you as the bidder, what do you think was the key factor of the successful bid for the UNESCO World Book Capital City? Like, what the key programs do you think that really made the proposal?
Okay, thank you. I would have to say that one of the main pillars supporting Sharjah's recognition as a World Book Capital has been its continuous investments in in education and literacy. I would also have to say that for our programs that we proposed to the UNESCO, we focused on key themes, which would serve as the guiding themes for all our programs and events that we've developed for the year. We've categorized our themes into six aspects. We focused mainly on inclusivity. The reason behind that is that when we considered the demographics of Sharjah with its many languages spoken and communities from all around the world, we wanted to ensure that all are included in the year's activity by providing tailored community outreach programs to engage with our diverse demographic. Other themes that we've set were ranging from fostering knowledge, honoring heritage, unifying communities, and empowering children and youth, as well as developing publishing industries. I would have to say that in Sharjah, you will also find that all stakeholders in the cultural industry and mainly the book industry work together. And I believe that this integrated ecosystem is empowering each segment and it's elevating Sharjah's profile as a publication city in the international markets. And I believe that this was a key element in Sharjah's selection as a World Book Capital.
Thank you. Next, what about you, Sheikh? KL Baca, your slogan for
Yeah.
World Book Capital City.
Okay, as you mentioned, our slogan is KL Baca, caring through reading. Baca is a Malay word that means read. So we believe that a city that reads is a city that cares. So that's the slogan, the whole theme. Our theme centers around one is diversity, because KL, you can see people from different backgrounds, different levels of society. So that is what KL is, a city of melting pot. And then we also have the next theme is the environmental rejuvenation. So when we have a city that cares, so we want people to read and be educated, be cultured, be aware of their surrounding, so that they can actually be caring to one another, be caring to the environment, be caring to their surroundings. So that's the we talk about the slogan and the theme. Now, I think another important aspect of the bid that I think won the bid is how we actually get um, well, we got different people from the industry, yeah, from the government ministries, from the government departments, from government agencies, associations, NGOs, and all these people have been championing literary activities. So we got them together. We held a series of workshops to see what they have done and what they are planning to do, or they have already planned for the next few years. And the good thing about us is that most of these activities, especially by the government agencies and departments, these are all pre-budgeted. So they have actually pre-budgeted for these activities for the program 2 years down the road. So it makes it easier for us to actually pull them together and just list them down one by one. And we actually went out to do presentations. We called NGOs, non-governmental associations, to come to hear what this project is all about, and we asked them to submit proposals of what they want to do for this. We received quite a few, and we tried to implement them one by one.
Okay.
So our aim was to integrate social media, computer, and the printed. Give them some products, very interesting products to get them back to the books. And these products would be interesting for us. So we had a couple of activities, around 10 activities that we are integrated the printing books to the online media and computer. And the second purpose and aim of us was to see the project in long-term perspective, to maintain the projects implemented for future. I mean that we, in the project, for example, we have to re-innovate and made the new kids library that will be all equipped with the modern techniques and modern interesting things, and the place where the youth and kids want to go and spend their time with books. So this kind of integrated activities and long-term perspective activities was our main idea and issue to create the program. And actually, when UNESCO declared and explained how they gave us the status, these two reasons was the active and most important from their side as well. So maybe youth and kids and long-term programs, long-term perspective projects was our main issue, how we gained the status of BBC here.
Okay. Does Mr. Andrea, do you have anything to add?
Sure. I think another important part of our application was that we managed to offer something for all the stakeholders. As Nina mentioned, we focused on children, and we focused on how can we get more people involved with books. As a parent, I can tell you it's very hard to get kids involved with books nowadays with so many distractions. But that wasn't the only area of focus. We worked very close with the publishers. We worked very close with the authors, with the libraries, basically all the stakeholders. And Nina and her team did a really good job of getting everybody involved. So it's a project that's not just being implemented by the city or by the project team. It's a project that got everybody involved, all the stakeholders, and I think that's very key to have all the people that are involved in the process have gain equal benefits from this project, so they're equally as involved as the city or somebody who's hosting the event per se.
Okay, so as a deputy mayor, what do you see? What are the impacts of this title given to your city?
We're only now beginning to implement the programs, but I think the impact will be very positive, and it will be the impact will stay. It won't be a one-time event. It will have a long-lasting impact on the city. Of course, we were actively planning to promote this because tourism is very big deal for Georgia, for Tbilisi, and we're very actively working with our tourism administration to promote this idea that Tbilisi is the book capital of the world. And I think we will still do that despite the pandemic. Of course, the scale will not be the same. And as I said, the impact for the city will be all the projects like children's library that will stay, all the renovations for the libraries, like a project that we already launched this year, which will enable all the public libraries to update their libraries, the school libraries. So all the schools by the end of the next year will have the updated libraries, and I think it's that's the real impact that will stay and will have a long-term effect.
Sheikh from KL, have you seen any impacts from having the title?
Yeah. From the impact so far, as Sharjah puts it, their theme is open books, open minds. Now in KL, what we see is we have open doors. So before this, the industry and the city hall, the Kuala Lumpur City Hall, have not been working together hand in hand. Yeah, because we are doing our own stuff, we are doing our own programs, and the city has their own program through their city libraries and all that. But for the World Book Capital, it got us to sit uh,
Together.
in one table, yeah, to sit together and planning for this World Book Capital program. And I believe this is not a one-off thing. I believe this is a long-term partnership. And the good thing is that the KL City Library is put under the Department of Community Development and Urban Well-being of the City Hall. So this is the right place for actually the industry players to work hand in hand with the City Hall to ensure that all levels of society in Kuala Lumpur gets the benefit from the World Book Capital program. And we have programs that we do that affects all these people. We have programs that we plan to do, especially to the housing complexes for the urban poor. We have about 400, close to 500 blocks of
And
people
they're still
living
running.
in the below 40% of the
Poverty.
yeah, the 40%. So these complexes, we have activities for them. Actually, even the Kuala Lumpur City Library has their branches in some of these blocks. So we do a lot of things now together, and I hope that this is the impact that can be seen
Yeah.
in the long run.
Oh, what about Amira? I know the ruler of Sarja is a person that loves books and literature. What are the impacts of the title that you received last year?
I would have to say international recognition for sure for Sharjah's efforts in promoting education and literacy, like you said. And this designation has also strengthened local and international publishing relationships. We've seen an increased investment in the publishing sector the past year since the designation. And we've also had Sharjah as a guest of honor in many different cities during World Book Capital, like Moscow, Turin, Madrid, and New Delhi. And Sharjah is also going to be guest of honor in the London and Bologna book fairs as well.
Yes, it was supposed to be this year, isn't it? At the
Yes,
London
but
Book Fair.
unfortunately,
Yes. Um, Bu Suharti, early this
Yes.
year, the Jakarta provincial government has set up a committee called Jakarta Book City for the next 3 years
Yes.
with so many programs. One of them is the IPA World Congress in 2022.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
other programs are in plan?
So many programs will be held in the during the IP Congress, Laura. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, because it's
I
I'm still,
wonder where you're from. You're not in Jakarta, are you?
no. I'm in Punca actually.
Oh.
I'm in Punca. So lots of programs that we plan for the IP Congress. We certainly invite you all here to be there in 2020. The discussions varies not only to establish the industry itself, but also how we develop the good contents for the industries. And also, since technology is growing, we also put one of the ideas, not this one, the how we could use the technology to develop the industry. So I believe that by having sharing information, sharing knowledge during the Congress, we could learn from each other in 2022. And we also like to share how Indonesia and then how Jakarta develop its industry. Now, as probably Laura mentions earlier, because I have lost the signals during the meeting, so we have lots of publishing houses in Jakarta, more than 5,000. And practically the demands of the books around the countries fulfilled by the publishing industries in Jakarta. So we would like to share also how we do that. And not only that, because we also would like to share how we develop beyond books, not only the printed books, but also how we bring the books into other industry like the movie, like others platform. So hopefully the Congress in 2022 could bring us together and then to discuss the challenges in the industry and come up with the ideas, innovations, how we could work together to to
Okay.
help each other in the enhancing the industry.
Okay, thank you, Buharti. Now,
I want to,
yes,
if it's possible,
please,
I want
Nina.
to add something, and then I have to go for my TV program. I'm very sorry. I want to
It's
mention that
fine.
right now, excuse me, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I said it's fine. Please go on.
Yeah, right now, I would mention that right now the Georgian publishing house has the prices according to the fact that all the book fairs in Tbilisi was first postponed, then cancelled until the next year. But still, the support from the Tbilisi City Hall was not just. Was continuous, and as Andra mentioned, our first important project in the framework was of BBC project is to re-innovate more than 300 public school libraries in Tbilisi. This is our very first project, and we are starting it. We are now working on it from the December. The new titles, lots of new titles, so will be in the more than 300 public schools of Georgia. I'm very sorry, me and Andro should leave right now because we have a TV show, and wish you all success and hope to see you not online in nearest future, and hope to see you in Tbilisi next year.
I hope so too, especially during the World Book Capital inauguration.
Yes,
Yeah?
sure.
Is it going to be offline or online? Can you predict?
I hope that it will be offline. We will physically implement it. No very important changes. Is like the plan is the same right now, and we hope that we will overcome the pandemic and we will implement as planned.
I hope so too. Well, I wish you the success and thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
very
our
much.
panel.
I'm very sorry because of the time limit, and see you soon in Tbilisi. Bye bye.
Bye. See you. See you, Nina,
Thank
and
you for
see you,
the insight.
See you.
Andrea.
Bye bye. Bye.
Okay, so I'll direct my next question to Amira about this pandemic. I mean, everyone had to uh, start to convert everything online, virtual, and yet Sarja International Book Fair was held physically a few weeks ago. But despite on events, what is the literary ecosystem right now after the pandemic in Sarja?
To shed some light about the book fair, it's actually taking place right now, this week.
This week,
The
yes.
2020 edition, yes, the 2020 edition of the book fair, they've adopted a hybrid approach where they have a unique mix of online and offline programs to deliver to their community of visitors. I think that the pandemic, much like every other city around the world, it was a very difficult time for different industries. And specifically, if we're talking about the book industry, I'm sure everyone felt that impact. But I think in Sharjah and the UAE as a whole, Sharjah has been championing the move towards a digital and more virtual approach in learning, education, as well as retail. So I believe many publishing houses have adopted this approach as well, where they've mobilize their efforts in focusing on the digital platform and engaging with their community of readers through digital applications. We felt the effects of the pandemic since it took place early this year in I believe in March, if not February, in the UAE. So it was still during our World Book Capital year, and uh, it, it put some roadblocks in our way during the close of our World Book Capital year. But we've also adopted a virtual approach or a digital approach where we've collaborated with different companies to provide audiobooks and different types of different formats of books for our community with the support of the Sharjah Public Library and the Sharjah Book Authority as well.
Okay, thank you. Sheikh, you had the World Book Capital inauguration early in the year and had to quickly think about converting it from physical to virtual. How did you do it, and how was it like?
Well, actually, we were quite sad that we have started to invite people to come over. In fact, we extended invitation to Jakarta as well, yeah,
Yeah.
to come over
Yeah.
to witness the inauguration of the KL World Book Capital. Everything was a very grand celebration was prepared. Even we had planned a 1 week KLWBC festival in running up to the opening of the World Book Capital. Uh, but yeah, because of the pandemic, we had to really come together. And the funny thing is that we cannot even sit down together in one table to discuss. So many of the things were discussed online via Zoom. And when we managed to sit together, that's when we had to, quickly plan something out. We communicated with UNESCO. We communicated with Sharjah on how to actually do the handover. it was kind of it was kind of an exciting period because it was the first time for everyone to actually do this, and we could not even get the trophy from Sharjah to come to KL. So everything had to be done separately, and in fact, we just got it. I think end of September we got the trophy handed over by the ambassador of UAE here in Kuala Lumpur to our mayor. So a lot of things has to be redone, and well, finally we got to the virtual a video recording of the opening ceremony, which was a very simple one. We could have done better, of course, but that was done due to the time constraint that we had. And as far as the activity goes, what we planned for the World Book Capital Festival, the week-long World Book Capital Festival, we uh, tried to do whatever that could be done virtually, and we actually did one event that we actually have been doing every year on the 23rd April, which is the Jom Baca Bersama or Read Together program. This is what we do every year on the 23rd of April, World Book and Copyright Day, where we got the whole nation to actually read for at least 10 minutes. So everybody is like with their books, and I think every year is about 11 a.m. So everyone actually have their books in their hand. 11 a.m. Everybody starts reading whatever that they have, and it's being shown live
Yeah.
on we have it on TV on the national stations. We have it on social media, and that was something that we did before the actual launch of the World Book Capital. So we managed to get that happen, and we also have well because of this pandemic, everything has to be rescheduled, redone. So programs, we return the proposals to those program organizers. So we have to ask them to change uh, to something that is pandemic friendly. you know? So some of them changed their programs. Some of them said that, oh, we cannot do anything, we have to decline. And some of them actually, well, many people actually suddenly came out with virtual programs. The thing about virtual is that you can actually do it from your own home. As long as you have an idea to do it, you can actually just do it.
Yeah.
So because of that, we managed to get in touch with all these people, yeah, that we have never met before, that we have never got in touch before, to actually come together, discuss. Hey, you know what? Maybe this is good for the World Book Capital program. Let us promote your program under the World Book Capital banner. So we managed to do that. And one of the programs that was very successful was the Writers Summit, that they managed to do it during the Ramadan month, a fasting month, where normally we don't do anything during the fasting month. It's a very unproductive month when it comes to physical events is concerned. But this group of people, My Move, that's an association, the Malaysian Writers Movement. What they did was that it's a month long, probably about 3 weeks long, a summit, a writers summit, where they managed to actually get about 29 speakers, yeah, holding it
Wow.
virtually, 100% virtual, and they managed to get about 2,000 participants,
That's amazing.
paying participants. This is not free. 2,000 paying participants
We need
actually
to have a separate.
registered.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is something that is was a surprise to
Yeah.
us that all these gems started to come out during the pandemic. So we are still looking for people that are doing things on their own and try. As I said just now, it opened doors.
Yes.
So with this pandemic, it even opened more doors for people to step up
Yep.
and actually work together, especially with the city.
So you're optimistic for the future. There will be more exciting new initiatives, programs that
Yeah,
come up with a bigger collaboration network. Now,
yeah, like this.
yeah,
Yeah.
like this. Buharti, what do you think? I mean, you know the situation in Jakarta right now. In the near future, what other exciting literature programs that are happening in the city? Okay, we cannot get connected with with Buharti. It's okay, but I want to move on to Amira before I close.
I'm here.
Oh yeah,
Got the signal again.
we only have 2 minutes left. I
no,
was
no,
just
no.
asking about in the near future, what are some exciting literature programs that you could share? Okay, we lost her again. It's okay. So Amira, what about Sarja? What are the exciting programs happening soon in the near future? I think you're still mute.
I apologize for that.
It happens all the
I'd
time.
like to say that even after our World Book Capital year, our agenda for that year during World Book Capital mainly consisted of events that are existing events. So our programs just keep developing as the years go by, hopefully, and we'll still have the essence of Sharjah World Book Capital with the themes that we've integrated into the programs. We're going to be opening our doors to in House of Wisdom soon, hopefully by the end of the year. And as part of House of Wisdom, it's known as the Legacy of World Book Capital. So all the programs that will be that we will launch from House of Wisdom will still have the same essence as World Book Capital, mainly focusing on inclusive events, events that foster knowledge and empower children and youth, and many more. So we're looking forward to that, hopefully.
So House of Wisdom, last year you launched the publishing, Sarja Publishing City, and now there's House of Wisdom. It's such an inspiring, activities that you're doing in Sarja. Well, time has asked us to end this conversation. I am very sorry. I would like to talk more about your program, but maybe we have to really meet in person and learn from each other physically, right? I thank you. First, I have to do it in order from whoever got the World Book Capital title first. Miss Amira bin Faris, thank you so much for participating. And then KL, Sheikh Faisal, thank you. And then Ms. Ninia Macharasvili and the Deputy Mayor of Tbilisi, Mr. Andrea Basilaya. And then lastly, from our capital city in Indonesia, Mrs. Suharti, thank you so much for your time, for your contribution, for all the information that you've shared. I really hope that we can meet again, not via Zoom, but in person, and hopefully, as what Mrs. Suharti has mentioned, she invited everyone to come to Jakarta for the IPA World Congress in 2022. Thank you, and see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.